The U of M guest speaker for us, Professor Prof. Dugan.
Well, thank you, Gerald. I will go ahead and take this off too. It's a pleasure for me to be here today, and as was mentioned, I would just like to thank Makita for the support of the program that we have had with Kisii University, and really to thank you for your initiative to first come to the University of Minnesota. So I was at the first meeting that we talked about this partnership, and as you mentioned, Gerald, we were all very excited about thinking about what this partnership would be. And I think as we look back over this last 10 years, there's a number of things that we're very proud of. One is that our relationship with not just one college, but 3 colleges, the medical school, the law school, and with extension. And this partnership really has grown out of a partnership between the University of Minnesota and Kisi. And that's really what we wanted it to be. We did not just want to go to Kisi and say, here we are. We really went with the attitude that we were going to build programs together. We were going to learn from Kisii University, and we were hoping that Kisii University could learn with us, and that we would do that in a partnership. So with having students come to the University of Minnesota, then going back to Kisii to apply what they've learned, to be able to have our own faculty go to Kisii and really see what the needs were in Kisii and develop those programs. And the last time I was in Kisii, I had the opportunity to be at the graduation of the Women's Co-op, the leadership program with the Women's Co-op. They were so excited to be part of that program. They were so excited about what they learned to really apply that back to their farms, to their families. And at the end of the day, the thing that we were so excited about is that we know that that will make a difference. And it made a difference because we were in partnership with the university, and we continue that partnership. And we know when we do international work like this, that the best impact are the long-term relationships. It's not just one time for either us or for the university. So we've just been very proud of that. We are so much looking forward to continuing this partnership and just taking it where it can go. And so Makita's role in helping that and pushing us to do that, but also being here to continue to support this partnership has just been so important for all of us. And so on behalf of Meredith and John and the other deans at the University of Minnesota, this is a partnership, again, that we hold out as a model of what we can do internationally that really makes an impact for both us and for Kisi. So thank you very much.
There's a lot of love, there's a lot of respect, and I sense the community, and that's amazing. And us here, the Minnesotans, we feel at home right away. I sense a lot of dreams that were hard to achieve. Maybe you or your children or your parents or uncles had a big dream to make a better life for yourselves. I remember growing up in Finland and dreaming to be in the US someday. I had no idea how to do it. Had I known at 5 years old that I at 50 would be here right now with my Kenyan colleagues, with my colleagues from the U of M, it would have been amazing. I would not have believed it. So Dr. Kimura, thank you for starting a dream for us. And we are very excited to collaborate. And we are the big sister of our U of M. I got my PhD at the U of M, so we are all partners here. What we stand for is social mobility. We invite everyone with a big dream and stamina. And we take them far, further than you ever thought you could go. So we want to partner with you. And our delegation from Kenya, I know you must be tired. You are the same time zone as in Finland is, so I know there's sleeping by now. So you better go to bed right after dinner. And welcome to Minnesota, and it's so nice to be here. Thank you, thank you.
Guests from Kisii University, starting with Professor Stanley.
A few things. Essentially, he gave me a free hand to to see how this program could be run. And also at that particular time, he told me that there were guests who were going to come to Kisii University from the University of Minnesota at that time. And so he told me to coordinate that program. And he told me he wanted this program with other programs to be run fairly well, and it should be a program which should outlive us in the institution. At least on that particular aspect, BC, we have been successful, because this is a program coming next year. We will effectively be handing over many of the management portfolios we have to others. And he told me that he would wish this program, as I've said, to be successful. And on this, he gave us excellent leadership. And I can say where we succeeded, it's due to him. Where we have failed, I can take responsibility. And so I remember at that time we met, I remember Professor Meredith and Professor Bev, and I think overall it has been a very fruitful program. We have been able to achieve quite a number of things, and through that, you introduced me to Professor John Rance, who has also become a close friend of Kisi, and we are grateful for what we have been able to achieve over the past 10 years. When we came here, that's when I got to know Mkida. At that point, I didn't know Mkida. And Mkida has also been very instrumental in steering us forward, prodding us when we are failing, or where we are not going as actively as we should have been. And many of the Mkida colleagues have become also close friends of Kisi, and also our own close friends. We've had the occasion to participate in a number of programs when they come to Kisi, and when we've had to travel here, they have always been ready to receive and support us. This year, personally, I happen to have lost my wife in April, and I want to thank Mkida and the members of Minnesota here for your extreme kindness to me when I lost my wife for about 32 years. So again, we got to know Books of Africa, and through Books of Africa, we were able to equip our library. We also started programs with communities. We started a very effective program with what we call the wives of governors in Kenya, especially in southwestern Kenya. We found the governors' wives were very instrumental in setting up these libraries, and through that support, we have been able to work very closely with them in terms of equipping libraries at the county levels. And so we thank Books for Africa too in this program. In the coming years, as we hand over to the new management, I think it was very fitting that this be our final trip to this group of colleagues and friends who supported us. And so we thank you all, and we hope that the coming colleagues will also be able to continue with working with you so that hopefully even for them, it will also be able to outlive their time at Kisii University. Thank you very much. It's now my pleasure to invite our Vice-Chancellor of Kisii University, Professor John Akama.
You can use phone. That's for the video.
So, let me also remove my mask. Thank you very much, Professor Stanley. Our distinguished guests from the University of Minnesota, Professor Bev and Professor Meredith and John, our distinguished guests from hosts from the Minnesota State University, Makato, the Mukida fraternity with us here, led by our dear brother Gerald Nyachai, and others who are here with us, Dr. Kimori, who is also a professor at Makato, Mayaka, and many others. We appreciate Gita, Murande, Okoyo, Omariba, and among other distinguished Mukida group of now Kenyan American. So I hope it's a good afternoon. We're quite excited to be here from Kenya, specifically from Kisii University. We appear to be quite honored to be your visitors here, and the level of hospitality which we have been receiving here is quite overwhelming. The collaboration which we have had, as you have heard, between Kisii University and the University of Minnesota, going now for more than 10 years, it has been quite a very fruitful engagement, particularly for our faculty and also for our students. But through this collaboration, we have even managed to do projects with the community. You have heard what Prof was talking about, women, rural women, and we appreciate John for those kind of projects we have been doing there, transforming the livelihoods of rural women in not only in Kisi but in larger parts of Western Kenya. So for us as a university, we really take the whole project to be very special to all of us, particularly we as managers of Kisi University. I keep telling our members of the University Council, the Senate of the University, I keep telling them that this MOU, which Mukida introduced us to, has been the most active, probably the most active MOU. We do have other MOU with other universities in Kenya, in Africa, in South Africa in particular, and also other parts of the world, including the UK. But this one has been the most productive MOU, and we have seen some very good outcomes. For those ones who don't know Kisii University is a relatively young university. it started earlier on, not as a university. It started way back at the time of independence in our country. We started off as a primary teachers training college way back in the early 60s. And then later the government developed it from a primary school teachers college to college training high school teachers. And then from there it kept promoting it. From there it became a campus of one of the universities in the way back in the year 1994. It became a campus. And then later on it was enhanced into a constituent college. And then eventually in 2013 we became a full-fledged university. We are the 13th university in our country, and we are a government university. And we have got to say that since we got charter as a young university, the university has been growing quite fast. At least in terms of student enrollment. When we got charter in 2013, we had about 2,000 students. But as we talk now, we have got in excess of 20,000 students. And of those, we have almost 15,000 who are fully government-sponsored students. And then we have got about 5,000 who are privately sponsored, who pay their own tuition. So when you look at that very short time frame, the institution has grown quite fast. In fact, we can say that Kisii University is the fastest growing university in our country. The university now has got various schools. We have got the School of Education and the Human Resource Development, School of Business and Economics, School of Health Sciences, School of Law, which you have heard is true. It's the best school of law in the country. The country now has got about more than 30 universities offering law, and our law program has been rated as number 1. In fact, one of our students was admitted 3 years ago to Loyola Law School in Los Angeles, where he became number 1 in the graduate exams. He graduated this year, this year, and he was number 1 in the graduation list. His name is, and it's amazing that this is a student who basically grew up in a rural environment, and went to school in a rural environment, and went to Kisi, relatively a rural university, and he comes here, and then he proves himself to be a very effective student. And he has now even changed his twangs. He speaks now like an American. I don't know how to do it. But he can change. He can speak Kenyan English, and then he can go into twanging. And then we do have the School of Agriculture and the Natural Resource Management, School of Arts and Social Sciences. We have the School of Pure and Applied Sciences. We have hired excellent faculty. Some of them who have been trained here in America and from all over the world. And one thing we really do our best is make sure that we get the best faculty to train our students. And that's where our students are doing quite well, even in the Kenyan job market. Many of them have also gone outside the country to do further studies, and they excel. They excel in those studies, whether in Australia, whether in the UK, more so whether here in America. And we are very happy about it. I want to specifically say that this MOU, the MOU between, which is started between Kisii University and the University of Minnesota, was started way back, Prof, in 2009. And we have had it now going on for at least more than 10 slightly more than 10 years. And as the acting DVC said, me and him, at least the three of us, the top management of the university, we are towards the tail end of our tenure. Our tenure is coming up to an end in 1.5 years' time, and this is one of the projects which is going to outlive all of us. And I'm sure we are going to hand it over to very safe hands. Probably people will even do a better job than us. And we really assure you, our collaborators from the University of Minnesota and from Mukida and from Makanto, that the people we take over probably will be quite dynamic. The way we have set the systems, and they will not tread you down. We have got to really emphasize that this MOU has given our university great opportunity for faculty exchange, and it has really enabled quite a number of our staff to come here for faculty exchange. They have interacted with faculty. It has also enabled quite some faculty from here, John being a good example, coming over there to Kisi, and they have done quite some collaborative research, and the research which is quite really very community-based kind of research, research which is quite transformative in the part of the world where we come from. We also have got to say that the MOU has also encouraged opportunities for student exchange who come here to study and do research. One of the young men who came here, when he came here, he came up with a very good drone to take photos, and it caused some excitement among students, you know, when he was going over the campus taking photos using that small drone, and the young man was quite appeared. By the way, the students who come here, when they go back, they are kind of transformed. You find that they are more interactive, they are freer with faculty, they appear to be even more confident, and really that really is quite transformative, and you see the value of that. Also, we have got to say that the MOU has promoted exchange of academic information and research in areas of mutual benefit. It has also enabled the exploration of the possibility of joint academic conferences and programs. Through this MOU, I want to say that our university, the two universities, have been enabled to explore other joint ventures that have been beneficial for both institutions and created an impact in society that will go on for a long way. I have got to say that we appreciate, look at the people seated in this room. People from very diverse background. And we are really providing a synopsis of what diversity is all about. And if this kind of diversity has to be promoted all over the world, then the world will become a better place. I was surprised that we heard from when Kamori took us to this university, the other place, the other side, and we met a student who's doing a degree in engineering. That student, I didn't know him, but surprisingly, he comes from my village. He comes from my village, doing a degree in engineering. You didn't know that. I didn't. I don't know how we chose that student to meet us. But believe me, he comes from my village. And the village where we come from is quite in the hinterland of Kenya, to the extreme southwest. This young man is here. He told me he's been here in 10 years. He has served in the US military. And the young man, when I tried to speak, there's a language which we speak, me and Gerald and a few gentlemen here, spoken by about 3 million people. The boy, when he spoke to me, I didn't know that he spoke Kenyan because he was speaking like an American. But when I saw his name, I knew this guy must be from Kisi. And then again, the young man switched into Kisi language, the vernacular. And he was as fluent in Kisi as I am. So I realize now, sure, the world has become a small village. Because here is a boy coming from a very rural environment. He's come here, he's transformed, and we hope that ideally, if these Kenyan, we can call them Kenyan Americans, if they can behave like the Mukida, all of them, be able to give back to the community, I can believe you that the community will be transformed. So we quite excited, and by the way, we take this, the Mukida group, who are now quite American here. The Mukida group, these are special Kenyans. These are Kenyans who remember home. They remember home and they give back. They give back in terms of ideas, in terms of even resources. They have sacrificed, giving free services to us, and we don't take it for granted. We have got so many people, Kenyans, who have come here, and many of them just cut links. I'm sorry to say that. They just many of them don't want to hear anything about Kenya. There's one of them who asked me whether there's a good road going from Nairobi to Kisi. another one wondered whether he would be very secure to be in the village in Kisi. Will my security be granted if I come to the village over there? Another one was telling me, in fact, there's one who came and hired private security. He's a medical doctor, a cardiologist. Whenever he comes home to see his aging mom, he hired private security. Somebody carrying an AK-47 to, people might kill me because of my dollars, somebody can. So, these guys, they even, where is Ken? Ken December brings his children and the wife to the village. To the village. And they stay in the village where we don't even have running water. These are unique, and that's why you guys, let me tell you, this kind of people will succeed. And you can succeed anywhere where you go, and even your children, because it's very important as human beings to have an identity. I don't want to take so much time, but I want to say that the COVID-19 pandemic has created situations all over the world that have affected all our spheres of life. The restriction of mobility has drastically affected many ongoing collaborations and activities. And I can say that despite the COVID situation, when we were traveling from one airport to another, we were being warned that if you don't put on your face mask, you will be prosecuted, you will be arrested and prosecuted. I remember when we were at Dallas, we were being told, put on your face masks properly. You guys put them, cover your noses properly. But despite that, we can see that we are here, to renew this MOU. This shows the level of resilience which we have, particularly between us here, between you guys here in Minnesota, and now we are having the University of Mankato, and also us over there in Kisi. And I have got to say that really you have heard what my colleague was talking about. The books which you have received through, again, this arrangement, the books for Africa. We have sent those books to many libraries. And let me tell you that those books, they change people's lives. They change the lives of young people. Our university also has received more than 40,000 books, particularly in the School of Law and also in the School of Health Sciences. By the way, the School of Law in our country has got some of the best law library, courtesy of the books which you have been receiving from here. And through that, you can see the outputs that we are producing very good graduates. We at Kisii University, we are very much delighted to have more faculty and students visiting us. Such visits are greatly enriching, and the ideas shared go a long way in bringing about change. We also take this opportunity to welcome you, at least each and everyone in this room, in the near future, particularly when COVID goes down, and we believe it will go down, to come and visit us at Kisii University. Our university, as much as it's a young university, for those ones who have been there, will tell you that it's located in a very scenic, unique, very scenic environment. Very green landscape, hilly, the climate relatively very good temperate-like kind of climate. So we have come here to witness and support this collaboration. And I was saying that really Professor Stanley has done a very good job. I gave him fully to manage this collaboration, and I stayed in the background. So all the compliments I've got to go to you, not to me. And the other way around, maybe the failure. The failures will come to us as management. Maybe where we were unable to facilitate you properly, and where maybe other things here and there, but you have done well. And we want to assure each and everyone who is here today that this collaboration is going to outlive us. I've already informed the Council and the Senate that we have got this very active collaboration, and I can assure you it is going to outlive us, and it's going to grow into a bigger collaboration. And we want it to be a really model kind of collaboration for our university. And we know that it's going to benefit now the younger generations. The younger generations who are more versatile and probably more outgoing than the rest of us. So I thank you very much with those few remarks, and I wish all of you good health, and I also wish each and every one of you happiness in your lives and in whatever you do with your families, friends, and colleagues. So thank you very much.
Two copies, and I will sign one on behalf of Mukida.
Both of us are left-handed.
Yes.
What a coincidence.
Yeah. Yeah, stand up for photos.
That's